nühaus. Nühaus. We design and build the renovation dream. We'll be eco and green, so join us at nühaus, yeah.
My name is Dora and I live in this house in Crumlin that I bought in 2015. So when I bought the house, I knew that I would eventually need to do a lot of work on it, just because it had sort of old wiring, old plumbing, old windows, and the extension on it was just a lean-to that was beginning to come apart. The house had a lot of sort of old issues with it, so it was a good solid house in a good location, but it hadn't really had any sort of major renovation done on it. There was just bits and pieces done over time. And the house was quite cold. The layout didn't work. You know, the kitchen was sort of at the back of the house, but the old kitchen was a bathroom, which was just in the middle of the house. Just from what I'd heard about design and build firms, I knew it would be a one-stop shop, so I'd be able to, you know, get everything done under one roof, which was really important to me because I'm quite busy in work. I have a lot of things going on. I don't really have time to be chasing up tradespeople. I also knew, with nühaus that, they worked very well together. So, Chris in Plantech had done the design, but, he worked all the time with the guys in nühaus so that there'd be a good synergy there between the two. I heard about nühaus from a colleague in work who had used them previously, and he, recommended them very highly. And I had kind of looked at a few other options. I'd spoken to a couple of builders and that kind of thing. But I think when Chris came around initially and did the drawings, he seemed to really get what I was looking for. He gave me a few concepts that I really liked the look at, and I was obviously quite worried about the budget because I had a limited budget to begin with, and one of my fears really was that it was going to run away with me, and I'd have all these extras that I hadn't budgeted for. But we went through a few estimates and managed to come up with a figure that I could live with pretty quickly, and that didn't really move other than a few extras and one or two surprises, which were within my contingency. The estimate was absolutely spot on. The house is amazing. I really love how it's worked out. The finishes are beautiful. I look at Pinterest boards I had from a year or two ago, and it's just as nice as anything I've seen on the internet. And even this kitchen is just beyond all my expectations. This is a north-facing room, but there's loads of light coming in. This room also used to be freezing cold, but I had the heat on for an hour this morning, and it's December, and it's all still lovely and warm. The rest of the house is the same, and it's just incredible. Luckily, I haven't had too many problems. There was a few little issues with the kitchen just need to be finalised, but Renato was great. He chased all of them up really. I didn't have to go hounding him, and has reassured me that if there's anything in the future I can always come back. Yeah, I think it's definitely been worth it. I have a lovely warm house that's comfortable. I don't have to wear 3 jumpers and a dressing gown when I'm walking around in winter. It's incredible. I can't, and there's so much space as well. The house as it was. Even though it's not that much bigger, the house just had a lot of tiny little rooms, whereas now I have a great big space that would be great for entertaining, but it's also quite cozy as well because it's so warm and comfortable. So I would definitely recommend. It's definitely been worth it. I don't think I can't imagine going back to the house as it was. Really, I'd find that very difficult. So I'd just like to say to the guys in nühaus from Plantech, thanks a million. This is really, it's really kind of changed, my whole attitude to the house. I love the house now. It was always kind of a source of stress for me beforehand, but now it's just great. it's just home.
New house, yeah, yeah.